Somebody save me. Let your warm hands break right through. Somebody save me. I don't care how you do. Just save. Come on. So yeah, the Smallville series finale. I have only one question. Who the fuck brings a baby to an apocalypse? So yeah, this finale, it was kind of like a cross between a list of things to do and a love letter from Smallville to Smallville. The expectations for this were huge, but all in all I think Smallville kind of pulled a Lost, meaning that they knew that they could have never met the expectations of fans to have an actual super fight between Clark and Doomsday, Darkseid. So they pretty much chose to pull on the heartstrings of millions of fans everywhere. So in that regard, the first hour of the show is just a lot of talking. Clark talking to Lois, Clark talking to Chloe, to Oliver, to his dead dad, to his other dead dad, to his mom. Eventually, he meets his arch nemesis Lex Luthor, who came back from the grave, and what happens? More talking. To be fair, the conversation between Clark and Lex was a long time coming, and whereas a lot of dialogues in this episode, not all of them, but most of them, were circular and repetitive in the sense that, light, darkness, hero, repeat as needed. The conversation between Lex and Clark actually got to the point really fast. Lex tells Clark that you've been sitting on your ass all this time, wasting your gifts, and that whole bit about heroes being defined through their villains. That was a great line from Lex Luthor. And also, Lex's appearance in this is kind of short, but it does set up the basis for what the Superman-Lex relationship is going to be in the future, and Tess has a great contribution to that. About Tess, she was a real trooper in this episode. While Lois and Clark were running around writing their little sappy marriage oaths, Tess was actually on the job as the one person who throughout the entire episode was fighting evil. Also, I think it's really interesting that by incapacitating Lex, by wiping away his past, she was actually saving his life, because Lex clones up until this point tended to be kind of crazy, except for Connor, and also really nice that they actually included a mention of Connor in the episode. But like I was saying, Lex clones tended to be kind of crazy, but with this particular Lex clone, he actually had the potential to go all the way, maybe even choose another life for himself, because he's not burdened by the past and by the fucked up shit that Lex did in the past or has been done to him. So again, Tess, great episode for her. Cassidy Freeman went out like a pro. I mentioned the sappy marriage oaths because I think we just didn't really need to waste any more time on the Lois-Clark relationship, and I really didn't need her to backtrack in the last episode. But if it had to happen, then I'm glad that at least their wedding got us the only real fight of the episode when Clark fights Oliver. Oliver had a really strange turn in the finale. He had a really strange season, if I think about it. I don't think he really needed Clark to tell him once again that I believe in you, and then Oliver goes out and with one shot from his bow takes out 3 of Darkseid's minions, which each one kind of was a problem for Clark to take down. So again, it was a very strange turn for Oliver to finish his story. The most brilliant moment of the finale for me was obviously the moment where Darkseid shows up in a Lionel meat suit in Clark's barn, and right before they do their little showdown, Clark is mentally, astrally, transported to a place where he sees 10 seasons of Smallville. And it was like such a meta last action hero kind of moment, because you kind of tell that Clark was going, man, this show has been going on for 10 years? Well, maybe it's time to give the people what they want. And then he flies. That was a gorgeous moment. Also, when John Schneider comes and delivers the Superman suit in Tom Welling's hands, I think it was a brilliant way to show how Clark's Earth side and Kryptonian side were finally merging, because you had both of his dads there, finally on the same page, finally both supporting him in the same way. And I think it was a great scene to film for both of those actors. Of course, one of the most gorgeous moments in the finale had to be followed by one of the lamest. I'm sorry, but the scene where Clark saves the world by pushing Apocalypse away, it was so poorly handled. It was so rushed. It lasted like it was shorter than the fight between him and Doomsday at the end of the 8th season, which drove people nuts. It was just so poorly handled. It wasn't inspiring. It wasn't inspiring at all. You could have had Superman save a kitty from a tree, and it would have been more inspiring than not seeing him push Apocalypse away. So after that, they show us the future, and Lois works with Jimmy's little brother. Great to see Shawn Ashmore again. Perry White is their boss. Clark is the bumbling reporter. And that's really when the idea of the finale being a list of things to do came into effect. Also, Smallville being a love letter to itself is because throughout the show you have all these people talking and they're saying that Smallville is where you became a hero. Never forget Smallville. So basically they were kissing their asses a lot. If there's anything I learned from Smallville in 10 years, it's that never underestimate the importance of a good face. There are not a lot of faces in Hollywood that can support a franchise for 10 years, but Tom Welling has one of those faces. For the last 10 years, he was the most gorgeous man on television, better than those idiots on Grey's Anatomy, better than those skinny little fingers on Vampire Diaries, and definitely better than those schmucks on Supernatural. So, thank you Tom Welling for staying gorgeous for 10 years, and thanks everybody who worked on Smallville. We had the Superman show on television for 10 years, and it survived so much. It survived horrendous drops in quality and huge rises in storytelling. So, after 10 years, what can you say except, I've been waiting for you, say